and powered by the Red 5 Network. For more, visit red5.bio.link. Good morning and happy Memorial Day, nerds. How's it going? Did you have a good weekend? Did you barbecue? It was very rainy here. It's still rainy here. It's been a very rainy several months. I'm not going crazy. I had a good weekend. I do have something very serious I did want to talk to you guys about later. Or maybe we'll talk about it first to get it out of the way, because we have so much nerdy stuff, happy stuff that I want to talk about. So maybe we should talk about the dire thing first. So anywho, before we go any further, make sure you hit that like button, subscribe if you're new, and ring that notification bell so you get notified whenever I'm back with more nerdy nonsense. Yes, I know it's Memorial Day, and a bunch of you are probably busy doing Memorial Day things, as you should, because it's important. Memorial Day is important. It's a day we show gratitude. It's important we show gratitude for those who gave their lives so that we can live the way we do. Okay? We take it for granted a lot. Let's say good morning to the chat. Good morning, Deranged Lunatic. Good morning, Taco Cat. And Deranged Lunatic says we should rip the Band-Aid off, so I think we will. And buenos dias, Fernando. Thank you so much for being here today, everyone. I'm going to turn this music off pretty abruptly because that's it's just really not appropriate for what we're going to talk about. So talking about, or in reference to Memorial Day, people who gave their lives. And this is not a nerdy thing by any means, but as I'm sure you guys are aware, I am very fond of where I live. It may not be like the greatest to outsiders, and there's definitely been times in my life where I've not been fond of where I live, and there's very good reasons for that. But because of where I live, because of how I feel about it, I'm raising a child here. I've raised children here. And because I do have a small platform, yes, it is small, we're growing. I mean, we've got over 10,000 across platforms now, but I felt a moral obligation to help spread the word about something that happened in this area, is happening in this area. I just feel obligated to use what small audience I have to spread the word about something that is going on, that has happened, and it's absolutely horrific. You can tell I'm like, because I keep touching my hair. But I feel compelled to spread the word and hopefully get more people talking about this. So I want to introduce you to a little boy. If StreamYard will allow me to. Because it can be very particular about what pictures it allows you, what picture files it allows you to show. But I want to introduce you to a little boy. And here we go. This is Conrad Ashcraft. 3 years old. St. Francis County resident. And on May 16th, he was killed. He was killed of all places in a daycare called Poppy's Playhouse. This is a parent's absolute worst nightmare. People that you entrusted with your child abuse that trust and harmed your baby, and now you'll never get to hold them again. Conrad was autistic and nonverbal, so he couldn't speak up for himself, which makes it even more horrific. The woman who was caring for him, there's actually two involved in this. The owner, her name is Spring Gray. She was a city council member for the city of Park Hills, which is 5 miles from me. We live in a county called St. Francis County, and there's only about 70,000 people who live in this county. So consider the towns in St. Francis County as more of neighborhoods. Okay. And of all those neighborhoods, the most corrupt is Park Hills. In fact, the FBI has investigated it a few times for corruption and malfeasance. Anyway, I have personal experience with the level of corruption in this area, and it doesn't just it's not just reserved to the police department and their justice system, but also the media. There is a newspaper called the Daily Journal, and we refer to it as the Daily Urinal. But the prosecuting attorney that is the prosecuting attorney for Park Hills is one of the most vile and corrupt individuals I've ever had the misfortune of having anything to do with. In fact, he practically ruined the love of my life's life. Horrible, horrible individual, greedy man. But anyway, I digress. The owner of Poppy's Playhouse, her name was Spring Gray. City council member, also worked for the prosecuting attorney's office. Go figure. And then you have the actual daycare worker who killed this young man. And I believe her name was, is it Stephanie Hedrick? Just absolutely horrific. So this woman that was caring for him, where's her name? Tiffany Hedrick. Tiffany Hedrick had a little tactic for putting children to sleep. They were struggling to go to sleep, or if they fighting sleep, she put an 18-pound weighted blanket on them, would tuck it under his arms, and then she would sit on them. She sat on this little boy, and the actual interview, she says she sat until he stopped wriggling and then left thinking he was asleep, and then she left work for the day. Several other employees of this daycare and parents have complained about this to Spring Gray, the owner. And she said they were just making things up. They're blowing things out of proportion. There's nothing wrong with what she was doing. Now, a compliancy investigator for the state of Missouri investigated this, and they flat out said, if you're going to use a weighted blanket on a child, it can only be like 2% of their body weight. So no more than 3 pounds. She used an 18-pound blanket, sat on him. So obviously, the family of this little boy is grieved. They are lost. They are devastated. And the grandmother of this precious little boy called her a baby killer, rightfully so, because she is. And this Spring Gray woman, who owns 2 daycares, was a city council member and worked for the prosecuting attorney's office. This woman knew that this was going on, allowed it to go on. She is negligent. She is culpable, and so was called a baby killer. The Park Hills Police Department recused themselves from this investigation because of who Spring Gray is. and turned it over to the county. But you know what they did do? They charged the grandmother of this deceased little boy with public nuisance for calling Spring Gray a baby killer. So they won't investigate the murder of a baby, but they will completely violate the First Amendment rights of his grieving grandmother. To top it all off, the local newspaper for St. Francis County, which is in, it's building. What's the word I'm looking for? I'm so upset about this. It's located in base of operations is in Park Hills. They have not ran anything about any of this. They've not ran a story about it. Does that not just absolutely enrage you? This so-called newspaper refusing to run a story about the murder of a child in their own town. Because of that very specific reason, because the local news in my area is refusing to talk about this, I felt compelled to tell you guys and hope and pray that you will spread the word about what is going on in my area. I have jokingly said for 20 years that where I live is got to be the town that's the night the lights went out in Georgia was written about. I don't know if some of you kids even know what that song is. It's about a corrupt town, but I always joked about, what that song is about. But now it honestly feels like it is. This is absolutely horrific. This little boy, this family deserves justice. And he deserves to have his story told. So Daily Journal in Park Hills, Missouri, fuck you. Where is your morality? Where is your integrity? You should shut down. You are not a newspaper. You should be shut down immediately. Park Hills Police Department, shut down. All of it. Shut it down. You are not worthy. You are absolutely not worthy. And I may be biased. I may be very, very biased. I may be kind of putting some of myself into this because there were times many years ago, say my kid was running away from home. I'd call them for help. And they would deny me, flat out deny me, and then come and arrest me in my own home for public nuisance, which can't be possible. I'm in my own home. Public nuisance. Why? Because I'm asking for help with my child who's run away. They will literally run you out of town. If you know someone that they know, I'm getting off track. My point is, they have everything upside down in that town. It is well known that police department is corrupt and they're a bunch of bullies. A friend of mine several months ago, almost died. She had a stroke outside after work at midnight, fell and cracked her skull on the ground and was left there for hours. When the cops find her, they made her stand up. Oh my God. Refused to call an ambulance. God, that poor girl. That poor girl. This little boy deserves justice. His family deserves justice. They deserve to stop being harassed by the police department, and he deserves to have his story told. So I'm going to ask you guys a huge favor. Google Conrad Ashcraft. I'm going to put his name up here for you guys. This is his picture. This is this sweet boy who could not speak up and say, I cannot breathe. Please stop. Help me. Couldn't speak and tell his parents what was happening to him. I want you to Google this little boy. Whatever story you find about it, Facebook post, because it's the people in my area sharing this on Facebook. I had no idea this happened. No idea this happened because the newspaper isn't reporting on it. No one's reporting on it locally. What the? Google him and share this story. The world needs to know. The city of Park Hills needs to be shut down. Spring Gray she has recently, within the last couple of days, she resigned her position as city council member. She needs to go to prison. Her daycares need to be shut down. Park Hills needs to be investigated by the FBI yet again, and the entire city needs to be shut down. It needs to be absorbed into Farmington because I cannot tell you how many people have died in St. Francis County Jail, on the streets of St. Francis County, killed by police. And nobody's doing anything about it. Nobody's talking about it because they have everyone in their pockets. And now this little boy has died. So do me a favor, nerdlings, nerdling army, I'm calling you up right now. Google this little boy's name and share on every single platform what you find. Do it now, please. This family deserves justice. And I swear to God, I will start protesting myself if they don't stop harassing the grieving family. I'm looking at you, Park Hills Police Department. Jared Maheran, you piece of shit. Daily Journal, shut down. I'm sorry, but I needed to take the opportunity to talk about this. I feel a little better now, but I'm asking you guys for help. Please help us spread the word about Conrad. Spring Gray and Tiffany Hedrick need to spend the rest of their lives in prison for harming all those children and killing that poor little boy. Just horrendous. Okay, guys, I'm going to say good morning again to those I missed in the chat, and then we're going to actually talk some nerdy news. I want to apologize again. I didn't mean to start on such an absolutely horrible thing, but I felt it in my heart that something needed to be said. Justice for Conrad. Always justice for Conrad. Shut down Park Hills. Good morning, Penny. I love Lilo and Stitch. I love that movie, and I will not take any more shade about how they changed the ending because I think it was beautiful. Just beautiful. Shut it down. Shut it down. Sue prison. Shut it down. I know because they're covering Spring Gray's butt is what they're doing. Yeah. Poppy's Playhouse. Very awful. Very, very, very awful. All right, guys. Let's keep going. Let's talk about some nerdy news finally. I'm sorry, I've just depressed everybody. But let's get on board with this nerdy news. So we do have a lot of stuff going on right now, and it's mostly DC news, to be perfectly honest. And you know, a lot of behind the scenes, probably spoiler stuff about Avengers Doomsday. I think I gave myself a fever. I'm like actually on fire right now. But sadly, more death. Man, I'm just a bundle of sunshine today. Uh, whew, whew. So, comic book creator, legend, one of the creators of Spider-Man 2099, Miguel. He worked on the Hulk, X Factor, Aquaman. He's written for Star Trek. Peter David has passed away at the age of 68. Just an absolute shame. Even James Gunn is saying that, you know, he reinvented Aquaman in the 90s and gave him that cool hook hand. My brother was pretty much in love with that because my brother has a hook hand. Wrote classic Hulk, X Factor runs, not to mention Young Justice and Supergirl. He's the Young Justice creator, ladies and gentlemen. I was always happy to see his name in a comic book. All my love to his family and friends. That was a quote from James Gunn. But it's an absolute shame. Huge loss for the comic book world. Very kind man by all accounts. Just a shame. So we've lost a comic book legend. We absolutely have. And then moving on, we're hearing that, and this is according to the Cosmic Circus, that Nova will have a major role in the MCU's next saga, similar to Loki's role in the Multiverse saga. And honestly, it's about time. Nova should have been a big part of the Infinity story. Nova and Adam Warlock, honestly. So, will we actually get to finally see Nova? We will find out. We'll find out. We've heard a lot of rumors for a lot of years that Nova was finally going to show up. So, hopefully this one is accurate. Loki says Loki had no role in the multiverse saga outside of his show. You're correct. Like, that's actually a really good point. Are they meaning like Loki was holding the timelines together? Like, was his show like an anchor for the multiverse saga? Is that what they're saying? So we're gonna get like one appearance of Nova, but it's gonna be important. I mean, it should be. He's Nova, but you got a really good point there. That is an excellent point. We got our first look at Kristen Ritter back in the boots as Jessica Jones on set Daredevil Born Again Season 2. I love Jessica Jones. I love her very much. I adore the character. I adore Kristen Ritter's interpretation of her. She reminds me very much of my superhero that I created. So that's just me, I guess, being a James Gunn, making it about me. But I think she's super cool. I love the character. Excited to see her reprise that role in Daredevil Born Again Season 2. I really do hope that Season 2 of Daredevil Born Again is better. Because Season 1 just felt like setup. So hopefully we've gotten through the prologue and Season 2 is more action-packed. I would enjoy that, please and thank you. We got a couple other shots. There's another one. In the black suit. Pardon me. And we've got this great article, Entertainment Weekly. We're going to go over that. But in this article, we find out that Michael Rooker's role in Peacemaker is Red Saint Wild. And he will be Eagly's nemesis. He's hunting Eagly. I don't know anything about Red Saint Wild at all. Like, I'm going to have to Google this dude. Anyone in the chat know anything about this character? Because I sure as heck don't. He's an eagle hunter. Obscure. Yeah, he's pretty obscure. It says. Can't really find. Nope, this isn't it either. There's very little information about this guy. Very little. So I'm going to have to really do some digging on this. Anyone else ever heard of him? Love it. Deranged Lunatic says Jessica Jones will get justice for Conrad. Heck yeah, she will. I'm going to give her a call. But has anyone else ever heard of this character? I've never heard of him before now, and I'm not really finding information. So he's Eagly's nemesis. Look at the size of that cannon he's carrying. Look at the size of it. That is the biggest gun I have ever seen. That is ginormous. That's huge. That's a huge gun. But yeah, let me know in the chat if you've heard anything about this character. I don't know anything about him. So, speaking of the article, here it is. It's an interview Gunn did with Entertainment Weekly. And they're talking about Peacemaker Season 2. I am a huge fan of Peacemaker. I know some of you are not. That's fine. We all are different people. We have different likes, dislikes, opinions. Totally valid. But I love Peacemaker. Oh, Penny! I just want to say hi again. And I hope you get your package soon. Anyway. I love Peacemaker. I'm a huge fan of it. I've watched it a bajillion times. I'll probably watch it a bajillion more. And I'm really excited for season 2. And in this article, we're just going to go through the article. We're just going to read it. Okay. How about that? How about that? How about that? It says, do you really want to taste a new opening credits scene in Peacemaker Season 2? Creator James Gunn and star John Cena promised that the new dance sequence will be just as good as the now viral scene to Wigwam's Do You Want to Taste It, with an added bonus this time. I'll give you an exclusive. You get to see Eagly try to dance for the first time, Gunn tells Entertainment Weekly. So that's really something. He is not the best at it, but he tries to really join in the dance sequence at the end. He's got a little pose this time. While fans won't get to see the new credits dance sequence until Comic-Con in July, which they are going to be there, DC is going to have an actual Hall H this year in July, and they're going to show a sneak peek at Peacemaker Season 2. Cena, while they won't get to see the new dance sequence credits until Comic-Con in July, Cena promises it will be worth the wait. This time around, everybody looked at it through a different lens, knowing how much the audience enjoyed the first one. The actor who plays the titular, words are hard, the titular DC antihero says, "We knew this was going to be a cornerstone of the show, so let's dive in. Everyone gave their best in season 1, but I just think people now know the importance of it, and hopefully it shines through in season 2. As for why the show scrapped the fan favorite credit sequence to film a new one for season 2, Gunn explains that they really had no choice. We killed everyone in the season. Well, not everyone. So we kind of had to. Everyone died, he says with a laugh. Also, we have a lot of new cast members. Tim Meadows. I'm super excited about Tim Meadows being in this. I love Tim Meadows. So underrated. So funny. Tim Meadows is Langston Fleury. Fleury? Langston Fleury. Okay. Saul Rodriguez is Sasha Bordeaux, and Michael Rooker's in the cast. Judo Master is a big character this time, so I knew we needed to do a new dance. The bigger question that Gunn faced was whether to keep the Wigwam song for a new choreographed dance or pick a totally new hair metal track. I really went back and forth a lot, Gunn said, and at the end of the day, I decided that we use a new song that's a little bit more about what the season's about. But the showrunner and new head of DC clarifies that he didn't set out to one-up last season's credit sequence because he knew that would most likely fail. I think there's 4 billion views of the dance sequence on TikTok, so when you have something that's that viral, I just wanted to do a good job with the new dance sequence, he explained. I don't know if the dance sequence ever, this is just, I feel like we're spending a lot of time talking about this dance sequence. Am I right? This is a lot of time he's spending talking about the dance sequence. And as much as I loved it, as much as I enjoy the do you really want to taste it? I do. But I don't feel like that should be the centerpiece of the show. I think that's a recipe for disaster. Okay, James Gunn really likes dance sequences. Goes on to say, it's been more than 3 years since the hilarious and deranged Suicide Squad spin-off series debuted on HBO Max, and Cena is just grateful he was finally able to don Peacemaker's shiny helmet again, no matter how long it took. Thanks for your patience, he says. I have not been patient. I just want to make that very clear. I am not patient at all. I am a very impatient person. I know we've had a lot of fans that have been waiting with bated breath, but the DC universe went through a bit of a shift, so I'm glad we're here, and I think everything is done with the right perspective. I'm so grateful that the audience hasn't forgotten about us, and to have James not abandon the ship and hang in there for whenever the time was right to get back to work, that's really good. Gunn admits the extra long wait was simply because of me. He explains, once I was done with Peacemaker, I had to do Guardians 3. And then when I was about ready to jump back into Peacemaker, I got hired to be head of DC. As soon as I got the job, I made a couple of calls. And the first one was to Marvel's Kevin Feige to tell him that I'm taking the job as head of DC. The second was to John Cena and said, I'm getting this gig and I still want to do Peacemaker, but it's going to have to wait. We're going to have to get Superman working first. Makes sense. The showrunner laughs as he adds that he just had to get through this other little movie and then this little side project first, referring to Superman, before he could focus on finally returning to make more Peacemaker. As soon as I was done writing Superman, I was able to write season 2 of Peacemaker, he says. I know it seems like a long time for other people, but for me, it all seems awfully short because there were so many things I did in between. It seems like Gunn accomplished a superhuman task with the sheer amount of movies and shows in the past few years, which also includes Creature Commandos, while also planning out the future of the entire on-screen DC universe. That's because it absolutely was. I will never do it again, he admits with another laugh. I will tell you that much. That was way too much. But taking over all of DC's slate in between Peacemaker seasons turned out to benefit the series, since it actually helped Gunn weave season 2 into the larger overall universe more organically. I developed it along the way in conjunction with the other DC projects that we're doing. So it's very much connected to Superman, and it's very much connected to what comes after, Gunn says. I had a rough idea of what I was going to do, but it was actually quite different than what the show ended up being. The season 2 trailer already revealed that some big Superman cameos Nathan Fillion's Green Lantern, Guy Gardner, Isabella Merced's Hawkgirl, and Sean Gunn's Maxwell Lord. But James reveals that there's more connections to DC's big screen reset coming in Peacemaker. You've seen what we call the QUC, the Quantum Unfolding Chamber, in the first season of Peacemaker. And we see more about that technology in Superman, James says. The QUC is the center of the story in Peacemaker Season 2. We see a lot of different characters from Superman in the season, including Isabella, Nathan, and Sean. And then we see a bunch of other characters later in the season from other parts of the DCU and from Superman. There might even be one really, really, really big cameo near the end of the show. As for why patriotic killer Peacemaker, real name Christopher Smith, finds himself face to face with the Superman trio glimpsed in the trailer, James explains that's a direct result of the events of Season 1. We come into Season 2 with Peacemaker knowing that he saved the world from butterflies, Gunn says. He thinks he's a big star now, and he should be a real superhero. And we see at the very beginning of that episode 1 that he's meeting with the group of superheroes from Superman, and he's basically interviewing for membership in the group, but they just mock him the entire time, so he's not taken seriously. Season 2 is going to explore how Peacemaker struggles to be taken seriously by the metahuman community. He's still considered a punchline among the other real metahumans. So he's starting the season in a bad place, as are all of our heroes, all of the 11th Street kids, well, everyone except Vigilante, who just always seems to be okay with everything. James reveals that it's also been a couple of years on the show since the events of the finale, and he's keeping the timeline vague on purpose. I see how difficult, after all my time in Marvel, it is to make things truly fit together. So it's an unspecified amount of couple of years, he adds. That allows the show to reintroduce some new characters, including Rooker's new role after his appearance in Suicide Squad. He debuts in Season 2 as the nemesis to Peacemaker's Eagle sidekick, Eagly. His name is Red St. Wild, and he's the world's foremost eagle hunter who's on a mission to kill Eagly. We thought Eagly was probably the most popular character from Season 1, so in Season 2, he has his own story with his nemesis, played by none other than the despicable Michael Rooker. Another new character that James can't wait for fans to meet is Argus agent Langston Fleury, played by comedy veteran Tim Meadows, because he fills the void left by Peacemaker's emotional growth. In a lot of ways, Peacemaker has changed a lot this season, James says. He's a much softer guy. He's a much nicer guy. He's less in your face and less obnoxious and less aggressive. He has changed as a human being. So Langston Fleury actually takes up a lot of being a total asshole in the same way Peacemaker was last season. He's a very politically incorrect asshole throughout most of the season, and also an incredibly funny guy. So that's basically what we've got. He goes on to say that it's a long way to return, but James has more teas up his sleeve. It's all about the twists and turns, he says. It's about the surprises that we find out in episode 1 and about the surprises we find out in episodes 6 and 8. And in a very, very emotional season. There's a lot of comedy like the first season, but there's a lot of emotion in it, and it's really good. Peacemaker returns Thursday, August 21st at 9 p.m. Eastern on HBO Max. Loki says, I hope he's just not going the MCU route and fans having homework. I don't think he is. If I'm picking up what he's throwing down here in this article, I think that little statement he made about, timelines in the MCU, I think it's a lot deeper than that. I think he's kind of saying, you know what, I don't want to do what they did. So I'm going to be honest with you guys. I haven't been feeling good this weekend. I think I still have a fever. Like, my cheeks are super red. I got a fever, and I don't think cowbell's going to fix it. I think antibiotics might. But that's what we've got on this interview with Entertainment Weekly. I'm very excited to see Peacemaker season 2 finally. I'm a huge fan. Yeah, looking forward to it. And I'd love to see Michael Rooker in the DCU. God love him. It's a weird character. I'm going to have to like really look into this character because I've never heard of him. Like not once. All right, guys, if you don't want some possible spoilers, now's your time to exit stage left because we've got some behind the scenes leaks. And remember that guy actually snuck onto the set all Mission Impossible style, pretended he was a part of the gang, and got video of the Madripoor set. They've taken it down. Like we got to see it, but they've taken it off TikTok. Like they're going after this dude. But we've got more leaks. Like they're building a spaceship. Let's see if this pulls up. Let's see. So we've got this.
The apprehended a dangerous experiment.
He escaped.
Yeah. So
here is the production outline of a spaceship to be built for Avengers Doomsday. Who do you think this ship?
So we get a spaceship, which
spaceship will be built at the Avengers Doomsday studio. The same studio this set is being built at.
This set or the location. This is location because it's outside. This is called location. But this is the location they've built for it. Look at all the boom, boom, booms. Boom, boom, boom. Okay, so there's that one. All right. And then what else we got? They're filming a Sentinel scene. So here's the Sentinel scene. And this is all from this Unbox PhD guy. I should probably subscribe. I feel bad. If I'm using your stuff, I should subscribe and like. That's what you should do now here too. Like and subscribe. Yeah. Check it out. So these are supposed to be Sentinel parts everywhere. So there's that. And then I think we have one more. Or maybe that was it. That might have been it. Okay. So on top of this behind the scenes stuff, put this back up here. Look how red my cheeks are. I need to go taste some medicine. On top of those behind the scenes things, we've also got news that they've pushed back a lot of stuff. Now remember that their VFX have, are you kidding me? Did you guys just see that? You jerks. Also, looks like Taskmaster's back. Olga Kurylenko was seen at Bahrain, and that's where they're filming right now. They're doing some filming there. So it looks like she's back. Oh, first look at Eyes of Wakanda. Looks like the Atlanteans. Or the, are we call, what are we calling them? The Tulakan. Okay, so that distracted me that it did that. Oh, here's the other one. Here is the other one. Where did it go? Here it is. Here is Doomsday location. They keep calling it set. It's not set if it's outside. Here we go. They're building buildings. Man, their security has been absolutely awful, which leads to, in my opinion, credence to my belief that it's the studios that are doing this. It's the studios. They're drumming up hype. It's the studios. They're allowing it to happen. Exactly. Why does no one ever try to take down the drones? Because they're letting it happen. That was Unbox PhD. Unbox PhD. She's pretty. Who are we looking at that's pretty? Is it Jessica Jones? Because she totally is. But yeah, it's because they're allowing it to happen. They're encouraging it. It's free marketing. Free marketing. Okay. So a bunch of projects got pushed back. Yeah, we don't need to talk about that. 3 of them got removed. 3 untitled films that were due to come out, 2 next year and 1 the year after. Those have been removed and they're all untitled. But also, Avengers Doomsday has been pushed back by like 7 or 8 months. Now, this is what I was saying, reminding you guys about the VFX got unionized for Marvel. Like the Marvel's VFX unionized finally. And Marvel has agreed to their terms. I think that's a lot of the reason why this has gotten pushed back several months, because you have to give the VFX team a reasonable amount of time to work on things properly. And they weren't doing that before. They were giving them unreasonable time constraints. They were working 20 hours a day, nonstop, and just being driven like slaves. And it was absolutely horrific. And that's a lot of it was Victoria Alonso. That heifer. Thankfully, she's gone. Cracks me up that she's trying to say that Disney and Marvel fired her because she's gay. Whatever. Nobody's believing that in 2025, Victoria Alonso. Shut up. It's because you ran off 35 VFX houses and caused a bunch of problems. You ruined movies with your behavior. So, honestly, having it pushed back several months is probably good news. It's probably really good news. So, yay. But anyway, pushing back Doomsday does push back Secret Wars as well. So, tell me what you guys think of that in the chat. Kino had postulated that, maybe had something to do with the leaks, like with that guy breaking, sneaking on set and taking all that video and stuff. But I don't particularly think that could be why. I believe that the studios have a lot to do with all the leaks. So, it's my belief that it's because of VFX, and like we have not been doing well with streaming or theaters lately. We need to pick up the slack here. Loki says, after Ironheart and Fantastic Four, what's left? Wonder Man and Vision Quest. So Wonder Man will be the last one to come out before Doomsday. That's what they said. That could change now since they're pushing this back so far. Since it's coming out the end of the year. That means there'll be no Marvel projects whatsoever until December of next year. Like a whole year. And I don't think they're going to let that happen. So, yes, we have Wonder Man coming out in December. And until this point, they have said that was the last project to come out before Doomsday. And I'm really, really, really looking forward to Vision Quest because of Terry Metalis. That's the only reason why I'm super looking forward to it, because Terry Metalis is the GOAT. He's really good at what he does. Nerling First Class, Backyard TARDIS, by the way, good morning. He says, I think it was always an unreasonable date to have a movie come out within a year of filming. I agree with you. It felt really quick. It felt like it was coming out really fast. Like really fast. So this could be good news. Backyard TARDIS says, yes, Spider-Man will now come out before Doomsday. You're probably right. They're probably going to change all that. So let me know what you guys think about that in the chat below. I got one more thing. I'm going to, let's see. I've lost it. Where am I at? I wanted to show this thing Millie Alcock said about Supergirl. And, oh, Loki's got a good point. More likely to believe the delay about actors not being under contract than VFX. You're probably right. It's probably both of those things. I'm inclined to agree. Smart man. But leave your comments about the Avengers Doomsday and Secret Wars delay in the chat below. I want to show this video of, and it's like 2 seconds, but Millie Alcock was asked about Supergirl, and her answer is beyond refreshing. In our little nerdy movie world or whatever, every time someone is asked about a character they're playing or a movie that's coming out, they're like, well, I just really wanted to show the struggle. I just wanted to, subvert these expectations. We've done things completely different, and we know that fans are gonna love it so much. I just know the fans are gonna love it. I always I hate it when they say things like that. You don't know. I'm gonna never say things like that. And is the subverting expectations and focusing more on that end of it rather than just making a good movie. It just stresses me out so bad to the point where why am I even talking about this shit anymore? Because it's just, yeah, we're making a new Supergirl for a new modern audience. Anytime anyone says a thing like that, I'm like, trash. I'm not going to like it. I'm not going to like it because you're focusing on the wrong thing. Just do your job. And I've said many times, why aren't any PR people sitting these people down, actors, directors, all of them, sitting them down and saying, stop saying things like that. You are running people off. You're turning people off. Stop saying things like that. Just say, we hope we've made a good movie and we hope you like it. I'm just really excited to show you the hard work I've put in, and I hope you enjoy it. Why aren't more people just saying things like that? And in comes Millie Alcock, and she's new to acting. She was in House of the Dragon as young Rhaenyra, and she was spectacular at it. But her response to this is so refreshing. And I hope this is a sign of things to come, not just from her, but from more actors like her. So
take you over.
I can only imagine what she's being asked, and thank you, Real Anarchy, for sharing this. What it's like to play Supergirl. How does that make you feel? Whatever. She's being asked.
I can only imagine what it was like seeing yourself as Supergirl for the first time. Really bizarre. I just hope they like her. I don't know. I think that it's really exciting, and we haven't really had a standalone Supergirl film in a long time. So I just hope that they accept her in the DC family, and James Gunn taking over. It's kind of a new era for them. I can only imagine.
I just hope they like her. I just hope they accept her. Here's what I've done. I hope you like it. Oh, he was joking, sweetie. He was making a Rachel Ziegler joke. No, she's not saying any of that, guys. Are you serious? No, they're not saying any of that. They're not saying any of that. Listen to what she says again. I'm going to play it again.
So I can only imagine what it was like seeing yourself as Supergirl for the first time. Really bizarre. I just hope they like her. I don't know. I think that like it's really exciting, and we haven't really had a standalone Supergirl film in a long time. So I just hope that they accept her in the DC family, and you know, James Gunn taking over. It's like it's kind of a new era for them. I can only imagine what it was like seeing yourself as Supergirl for the first time. Really bizarre.
That was a great answer. I just hope they like her. Just hope they like her. And I hated the CW Supergirl. I don't like CW DC shows. I think they're trash. Light a match. I'm glad they're done making them because they were awful. Her answer is perfect. That is exactly how you should answer those questions. Do not make the audience's mind up for them. That's up to us. We watch it. We decide what we like. Don't tell us that you're changing things and we're going to love it. She's not saying that, and they haven't, from what I know. She's saying, I hope they like her. I hope they accept her into the DC family. And that's just a perfect answer. She left politics completely out of it. She's not trying to be what's the word I'm looking for? She's not trying to be a poster child for anything other than the movie she's worked on. So good for her. I like this answer. I like Millie Alcock. More and more I see about her as Supergirl, the more I'm loving this casting. Every time she opens her mouth, every time they show me or tell me something about Supergirl, I'm just loving this casting more and more. So I have a lot more hope. I'm very hyped for Supergirl, and I truly believe that within the month we are going to see a suit reveal. Hopefully they do way better than they did with the Superman suit reveal. Fingers crossed, because that was not smart. That the latest suit reveal they've showed us should have been the first. I think we can all agree on that. But if you have any questions, comments, emotional outbursts, please leave it in the chat below. We're wrapping this up. I am clearly not feeling good still. Like, I need to go take some Tylenol. And I have so much to do. I have a chicken coop to clean out. I got mom stuff I got to do. Like, seriously, I do not have time for this. I have a video to edit. I have a video to edit, a breakdown of DC Comics The Question that Nerdling First Class Backyard TARDIS and my Red 5 brother Backyard TARDIS requested forever ago. I need to edit this, and I feel like crap. Anyway, make sure you do me a huge solid and help support the channel. And the first way to do it is the easiest and the freest way, and that's just by hitting that like button, subscribing if you're new, ringing that notification bell, and maybe sharing the stream, leaving a comment, what have you. It's the easiest way to do it. Takes 2 seconds, but it definitely tells our algorithm overlords that you are picking up what I'm throwing down. But if you feel so moved to help support the channel in other ways, because frankly, I can't do it without you guys' help. I can't. I'm not monetized yet still. I'm 800 hours away. Thanks for the effort. Thanks to the efforts of people like Penny. God bless her. Thank you for all your hard work, Penny. I feel like I need to go blow my nose now. I'm getting stuffy. Anyway, if you feel so moved to help support the channel in a financial way to help keep this stream on the air, thank you. And big thanks to my Patreon members, which, Deranged Lunatic, I hope you've seen your name added to the end credits, where all my Patreon Nerdling Army members are located. Thank you to you guys. But there are other ways to help support the channel and help me do things like pay for the software, the streaming software, the editing software, the music licensing, the equipment like backlighting and mic arms and stuff. If you want to help do that, the first easiest way to do that is by scanning that QR code right there. It takes you to buymeacoffee.com/comics and MUA, and you can tip me as little or as much as you like. But all of your donations go directly to this channel. If you're not comfortable with Buy Me a Coffee, I also have Cash App. I've got Venmo, PayPal. I've got all of it, but all of this is in the description below. All my links, handles, whatever, it's all in the description below. So you can tip me as little or as much as you like by going to Cash App and sending it to $DanielleSoncasie. I had someone tell me, oh my God, I've never seen it spelled like that before. Are you sure that's right? No, bitch, I don't know how to spell my own name. So annoying. It's not Sansusi. It's Sansusi. It's a different name. That's a whole other thing I could complain about. But if you are interested in getting your name in the end credits and helping the channel at the same time, consider joining the official Nerdling Army by going to patreon.com/comics. And we have 3 different tiers starting as little as $3 a month. And you get exclusive content, outtakes, behind the scenes. You can request breakdowns like Backyard TARDIS did. You get the exclusive Nerdling Army chat. And you get your own exclusive Nerdling Army merch that corresponds directly to your tier. So your own specific rank and insignia. And you get that merch every 3 months for the first year of your membership. So check that out today, patreon.com/comics. And I have a bunch of affiliate links. So check that in the description below. And I'm also a member of the Red 5 Network. This podcast is powered by Red 5. We are the coolest and nerdiest podcast network out there. We are just exclusively nerdy podcasters and content creators. So if you enjoy this podcast, chances are you will enjoy more of what the Red 5 Network has to offer you. So go to red5.bio.link today to check out more of the Red 5 Network. I will take S&H. I will take food stamps. I haven't seen Mission Impossible, but I hear it's doing amazing. This last Memorial Day weekend was amazing for movie theaters. Between Lilo and Stitch and Mission Impossible, just thank you for keeping the theaters open this weekend. Good for you. They did amazing. But yeah, I haven't seen Mission Impossible yet. Not yet. Been very busy. And I was sick this weekend. Again, I'm not feeling good at all. Like, I feel terrible. I think I got a sinus infection. It sucks. Like, my throat hurts, my ear hurts, just general crappiness. But remember, guys, please spread the word about Conrad Ashcraft. Please spread the word about the corruption in Park Hills, Missouri. The local newspaper is not wanting to do it, so we have to do it for them. That little boy and his family deserve peace and justice. So do me a favor. Spread the word. Justice for Conrad. Until then, guys, I'll be back tomorrow morning. Stay nerdy, babies. And I'll see you at 11:30 a.m. tomorrow. Keep your eye out because
Disney and Kathleen Kennedy are gonna get you.
No.